Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Flow. I'm Mark, and today we're going to practice something you need every single day. Talking about yesterday. Think about it. How often do people ask you what you did yesterday? At work, with friends, even with family. How was yesterday? What did you do last night? Did you do anything fun? These questions happen all the time, and today you'll learn exactly how to answer them. Naturally, confidently, with real American English. Now, before we begin, let me tell you how we'll practice. I'll speak slowly, clearly, and naturally. Perfect for shadowing. You know shadowing, right? It's when you repeat exactly what I say. Not just the words, but my rhythm, my tone, everything. Like you're my echo. After each phrase, I'll pause. That's your time to repeat. Copy me exactly. This trains your mouth and your brain at the same time. It's powerful, and it works. All right, let's start with morning conversations. Everyone talks about their mornings. Listen to each phrase, then shadow during the pause. Ready? I woke up early. I slept in. I got up at 7. I had coffee. I made breakfast. I checked my phone. I rushed to work. Good. Now let's use these in a real answer. Listen first. Yesterday morning, nothing special. I woke up late, had some coffee, and rushed to work. Now let's practice this slowly. Yesterday morning, nothing special. I woke up late, had some coffee, and rushed to work. Perfect. That's exactly how Americans talk about their mornings. Short, simple, natural. Now let's move to work and daily activities. This is what most people ask about. Listen and shadow. I went to the office. I worked from home. I had meetings all day. It was pretty busy. I finished a project. I dealt with emails. I took a long lunch. Let's put these together. Here's a typical answer about work. Work was crazy yesterday. I had back-to-back meetings and barely had time for lunch. Let's practice this. Work was crazy yesterday. I had back-to-back meetings and barely had time for lunch. Notice something? We say crazy, not very busy. We say back-to-back for continuous meetings. This is real workplace English. All right, let's talk about evening activities. This is the fun part of yesterday. Shadow these phrases. I got home around 6. I was exhausted. I ordered takeout. I cooked something simple. I watched Netflix. I went to the gym. I met up with friends. I just relaxed. Here's how to talk about your evening. After work? I was too tired to cook, so I ordered Thai food and watched a movie. Let's practice. After work? I was too tired to cook, so I ordered Thai food and watched a movie. That's perfect. Natural and real. Now let me show you some special phrases. These make you sound really American. Listen carefully. I hung out with friends. I ran some errands. I grabbed dinner. I caught up on sleep. I binge-watched a show. I called it an early night. These aren't in textbooks, but Americans say them every day. Hung out means spent time casually. Ran errands means did necessary tasks. Grabbed dinner means ate quickly. Caught up on sleep means slept extra. Binge-watched means watched many episodes. Called it an early night means went to bed early. Let's practice a complete conversation now. Someone asks you about yesterday. Here's your answer. Yesterday was pretty normal. I worked all day, grabbed dinner with a friend, then called it an early night. Shadow this with me. Yesterday was pretty normal. I worked all day. Grabbed dinner with a friend. Then called it an early night. Excellent, you're doing great. Now let me teach you something important. When Americans talk about yesterday, we often leave out words. We don't say, I woke up. We say woke up. We don't say, I had coffee. We say had coffee. This is called dropping the subject. It's very natural in casual conversation. Listen. Woke up late. Went to work. Had a long day. Came home tired. Ordered pizza. Watched TV. Went to bed early. See how much more natural that sounds? That's how friends really talk. Let's practice one more complete conversation. This time, more casual. What did I do yesterday? Not much. Slept in, did some laundry, met up with my sister for coffee. Pretty chill day. Shadow this. What did I do yesterday? Not much. Slept in. Did some laundry. Met up with my sister for coffee. Pretty chill day. Perfect! That's exactly right. Here's something else. Americans love using just when talking about yesterday. It makes things sound less important, more casual. Listen, I just stayed home. I just relaxed. Just watched TV. Just the usual. Nothing much, just worked. This little word just is so powerful. It makes you sound humble and natural. All right, let's practice weekend conversations. Weekends are different. Listen and shadow. I slept until noon. I did absolutely nothing. I cleaned the house. I went shopping. I had brunch with friends. I visited my parents. I worked on a project. Here's a great weekend answer. Saturday, I slept in, had brunch with some friends, then did absolutely nothing. It was perfect. Let's practice. Saturday, I slept in, had brunch with some friends, then did absolutely nothing. It was perfect. That's wonderful, very natural. Now, let me give you some connecting words. These make your stories flow better. Listen. First, then I. After that, later. In the evening. Finally. Use these to connect your activities. Makes everything sound smoother. Let's practice a longer story now. Yesterday was interesting. First, I overslept and missed my alarm. Then, I rushed to work without breakfast. After work, I met an old friend for dinner. We talked for hours. Finally got home around midnight. Shadow this story. Yesterday was interesting. First, I overslept and missed my alarm. Then I rushed to work without breakfast. After work, I met an old friend for dinner. We talked for hours. Finally got home around midnight. Excellent work, really excellent. Remember something important. When talking about yesterday, keep it simple. Americans don't give long, detailed stories unless someone asks. Start short. Add details if they want more. This is natural conversation. Let me give you some quick responses. For when you don't want to talk much, same as usual. Nothing special. Pretty normal day. Just work stuff. The usual. Not much. Boring day. Super busy. These are perfect for quick conversations, natural and polite. All right, let's finish with feelings about yesterday. Americans often add how they felt. Listen, it was exhausting. It was fun. It was crazy. It was productive. It was relaxing. It was stressful. It was actually nice. Adding feelings makes your stories more interesting, more human. Here's your homework. Every morning, think about yesterday. Practice saying 3 things you did. Use the phrases we learned today. Say them out loud, in the shower, in your car, while making coffee. This daily practice will make these phrases automatic, natural, part of you. Remember, talking about yesterday is not about perfect grammar. It's about connection, sharing your life, being natural. And now you can do exactly that. Keep practicing, keep shadowing. And tomorrow when someone asks, "What did you do yesterday?" You'll be ready, you'll sound natural, you'll sound American. I'm Mark. This is English Flow. And remember, keep flowing, keep speaking. See you in the next episode.